What are we witnessing with Jalen freaking Brunson?
I got it. I'll go first. Knicks fans were really assaulting me when I said last week, I'm like, he is the best player to put on a Knick uniform since I've been involved in the NBA. And everyone jumped out. Everyone, like, Mel, I'm like, I'm not disrespecting Melo, but the numbers are undeniable. Like, Melo was a legend when he got there and was an established superstar. We're watching that happen with Jalen Brunson. But if you ask me right now, who's the most important player that the Knicks have gotten in the last since I came into the league, it's Jalen Brunson, right?
And was Allen Houston in your?
No, Allen Houston was hurt. Like, I showed up, his knee went bad, like in 01, 02, and he was still that dude. But like, Brunson is the focal point of this team and has been for 2 years and has drugged them to playoffs. He has dominated playoff series. The dude is different. And he's still young. I'm sorry. He is the best player to put on a Knicks uniform in 20 years. That's who he is. That's what we're watching.
Is he a more, I don't want to say more acceptable, is he a more easy on the eyes James Harden?
What?
Like, stylistically, like, obviously he gets assists, he leads his team. The other guys kind of, they're great. I think Josh Hart, Donte, OG making great plays, but like, they're not all-stars. And he literally wills this team to win every night, and he's almost unstoppable scoring. Gets to the line at will, still even in the playoffs. Stylistically, he reminds me of James, except he has a crazy mid-range.
I don't think James's passing ability was also something that
I know what you're saying. They're different players. I know what he's saying. Just in terms of the burden
interpret it
required of being. I mean, I saw something the other day in the first round. If you actually did like his true usage rate, it was 52%. He used over half the possessions in the first round.
That's crazy.
Here's two thoughts, Allie, to answer your question. Number one, I think a lot of this is just Jalen being wired a certain way, having supreme confidence and belief in himself, working on his craft, getting better. But I would say this, I've been thinking about this for the last few days as it relates to the teams that have made it out of the first round and what are some commonalities that they have. And it's the starkest version of this is with the New York Knicks. They are the perfect cohesion of parts and personalities. To Channing's point, if there was another player on that team with a particular skill set that was redundant to Jalen and had a different personality than a Josh Hart or a Donte or a Isaiah Hartenstein, does this work as well for Jalen? Does it work as well for the Knicks? I think not. I think they're the best example of parts and personality working in perfect unison.
I have a question.
Hold on. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I thought you were done. Go ahead.
No. Even to the point where some of the stuff that we praise the Knicks for, right? Josh Hart and the offensive rebound and the kamikaze fast breaks. Legitimately kamikaze fast breaks.
Oh, that's so funny.
Miles McBride and his ball pressure, right? Mitchell Robinson basically for the last 2 years being like, okay, I'm not an offensive player. I'm just going to grab offensive rebounds and protect the rim. Like they've all bought into these roles. On top of that, Jalen Brunson, I think, was second or third in charges in the NBA this season. So he's the guy that's doing the dirty work too. Like it all just melds and mixes together into this perfect, I don't know, it's like a perfect walnut chocolate chip brownie. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And if you went and looked at every team's roster that has been eliminated so far in the in the playoffs, you'd be like, well, they have it, and they have it, and it's like, well, no, but the Knicks are a better team because that's how basketball works.
Yeah.
So my question though is, like you say, it's a perfect, like, are you saying the success that he is having? Because I think that there are certain players.
I started with him. It starts with him. I started with him.
No.
Yeah.
I agree. You said it's like it's him, and then they built the perfect thing around them, right? And so you're saying it's his greatness combined with the pieces that they have implemented around him, kind of like he's the Jokic, and then the pieces that they put around Jokic just meld perfectly.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
I'm just helping out.
But it's also, but again, the parts part is the skill sets. The personality parts is the other key piece to that.
Mm-hmm.
Like OG being in a place where maybe 4 years ago, he thought he could become Jimmy Butler offensively. He's at a place in his career where he knows exactly who he is, and he's going to do that every fucking night, and he's going to be great at it. That's the personality part that I'm talking about. They have every single guy on that team right now has complete buy-in to their role. That's significant.
I mean, you look at Donte, like only had, 3 at the half and then runs off 24 in the second half. But he's not a chucker, which is crazy. He they keep running the same plays. He's always in his spots. And then when it's his time to make those shots, he does. And the same with Josh Hart. Like at the end of that series with Philly, he looked and it was like, okay, I'm open. I got to shoot this. Like Josh isn't a bad offensive player. He just knows that's not what is needed at times until it is. And then he's like, okay, I'm comfortable shooting this because y'all passed to me and I'm open. Think about game 1 in Philly in New York when Josh went crazy. It was like, hey, we're going to make somebody else beat us. And Josh said, okay, I could do this, but this is not what the team needs every single night. Like, I'm going to shoot when I'm open, but most of the time I'm looking for Brunson.
Bigger picture, where is Jalen Brunson on your point guard list in the NBA?
Where does JJ, where do you have him ranking in point guards in the league currently right now?
Is he 2?
I don't know what a point guard is.
Fair.
True.
Rich, give the others that you have on your list.
I would say this. I'll put it this way. We did positionless this year for first team All NBA, right?
Yeah.
If we had done positions, I would have had Shea and Luka as first team. Jalen would have been the first guard on the second team. And I don't think there's anybody that there's not would it have been? No, it would have been Jalen. I had him fifth in MVP. I know I had him top 5 in MVP. I swapped him and Giannis for first team, and I laid out my argument why, and I don't want to go back into it, but yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I thought Jalen Brunson was the best player in the Eastern Conference this year, and I'm just going to be frank. Like you look at like how much he has to, his burden every single night is a lot. And he comes out there and every night you're like, is he going to get another 40? Damn, he just did. And they won. And he's making big plays. And I've just been impressed. And I'm kind of excited that a guy whose skill set is so high, whose game is kind of not the norm, right? He's not long and lanky like SGA. He's not tall and big like Luka, but he's almost unguardable. Right? It's like, what do you do? How do you guard him? You double team him. His teammates make plays. You guard him 1-on-1, and he's chewing your guards up. He gets to the line. He puts, I think in the first quarter, they had like 2 or 3 players already had 2 fouls, right? I think he had drawn 5 to 7 fouls just from himself. And so it's like, it's hard to like not appreciate and love the guy for being so effective and not usually being like the norm. He's not your 6'9" Paul George prototype. He's, what is he, like 6'3" and stocky?
You know what's wild? There's one particular part about his game that has always been wild to me. So he obviously, this is how I describe Jalen off the dribble. Jalen, he has a bunch of different moves and counters, whether it's through the head, the shoulders, the dribble, when he has a live dribble to get you off balance. He's never off balance. Then when he gets to his pivot game, it's all to get you off balance. He's never off balance. But the one little quirky thing that it's kind of unimaginable. And I just thought of this because you brought up the size thing. So Jalen when he gets to his reverse pivot fall away, right, as a left-handed player who's not particularly big, you would think he would turn this way, away from the defense, right? So the left hand is on the other side of the defense, right? He turns the other way. And so his left hand is in front of the defense and he still gets the shot off.
It's crazy.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
It is something that you can't.
Lefties are different. Lefties are different.
Lefties are very different.
Lefties are different. And I don't, that doesn't explain it, but just he's spinning the direction that feels most comfortable for him. And weirdly, it throws off the defenders, right? Like you would think he would do that. But again, lefties, the way they move, shift, pivot, it just, to your point, he's never off balance and he has multiple layers. He can get you off balance with his shiftiness. He can get you off balance with his pump fake. He always goes away from the screen. He always goes away from the screen. So it's just like his whole 5 levels of his game are to get you off balance, and it only takes one of them for you to be fucked.